Today I come out of retirement to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of the trilogy by Dan&Dave. It's been about 10 years since its release. It was released in 2007 and it's 2017. I am going to perform all of the trilogy flourishes. To make things more interesting, I haven't rehearsed any of these moves in like half a year. I don't expect to do that bad. These moves are so ingrained into my brain that I think I'm gonna do good anyway. To celebrate this, I wanted to drink. At first I was gonna do Red Bull and vodka, but since it's December, we're doing eggnog and fireball. It's a thing. I think it's called fire nog. So 1, 2, 1. I remember that the first move that they teach in the DVD is the Carnahan Fan, so that's what I'm going to start with. So the way I do the Carnahan Fan is a bit different. I do a much easier version that I came up with where you push with more than one finger like that. So to make this fun, I'm going to try to do the Carnahan Fan the real way with one finger. So let's try that. That doesn't look that cool. Okay, let's try this again. Here we go. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Even for the way I do it, it's kind of rusty right now. But it's like that. If you want a tutorial on how to do this, it's in my encyclopedia of cardistry fans here on this channel. So that's how I do the Carnahan Fan, and I suck at the one-fingered version. Actually, that was pretty cool, except the cards don't spread evenly because I'm not used to it. See how much faster this is? It just flips really fast. Whereas mine is a slow and controlled movement, which I guess helps spread the cards evenly. You get to control the way that they spread. Moving on. What's the next move? Mecka, I guess. It never does the 1, 2, 3 motion of the sibling. 1, 2, 3. It only does 1, 2, or 1. Doesn't do the third beat. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Then you do a civil and end early again. So it's 1, 2, and then you don't do the third beat. You just go like that, put it behind, and then do this finale move, which is pretty cool. I've used it for other false cuts. By the way, this cut is false. And then you do that. Oh, here we go. God damn it. Either I'm rusty or I drank too much whiskey. There we go. The move I'm going to talk about now, I don't even know. I guess I'll do Erdnase Go Round. There's two versions of this. There's a one where it does a turn in this dimension like a UFO. And there's one that does it in this dimension like a backflip. You start like Revolution Erdnase in the system where you pull down the bottom and revolve it to the top. But you're going to do an aerial version of that. So you pull down, but what you do is you flick and it like spins automatically, and it's actually easier than Revolution Erdnase. And then the second version of Erdnase Go Round is where you make it backflip onto itself, which is a bit harder. Pull down into the position. See how harder that is? I hate it when it happens. I'm sure you do too. Stop doing 180s, you fucking stupid move. There we go. There we go. Since we are on aerial moves, I'll do the vertigo. Okay? So I'm going to try to kick it back up into my hands. By the way, that first try was literally my first try. I did not cut out any footage. So I got lucky. When you do this move, it looks cooler if you kick it back up to your chest or abdomen level. You don't want to catch it down here. That looks pretty silly. Bitch. Like that. Oh, there we go. That was cool. If you're having trouble with this move, here's a tip. This sandal, pretend it's your foot. You don't want to kick it with the bottom. Like you're stepping on it upside down. That's not what you want to do. If you hit it with the side, that helped me a lot. And instead of doing it in a Z grip, like with your first finger, whenever I do it in a molecule middle finger Z grip on this corner. On this corner here, I do it like a molecule cut. So that's the way I do it. I don't think anybody else does it that way, but you can try it. It feels a lot more comfortable for me. So I'm getting the dust out, by the way, if you're wondering why I'm doing that. Okay, we got the aerial moves out of the way, so now what's left is just manual, traditional cardistry, two-handed cuts. So let's start with Akira. Let's start the rest of this video with Akira. Obviously, I'm not starting with Akira. I don't know, I said that wrong. I gotta relax with the whiskey. Okay, so here we go. You start like a tornado cut. And then you do this thing right here. So that failed because I didn't get it into the middle of the deck. What you want to do is get this tornadoed packet into the middle of these other two packets that are doing a Sybil kind of motion. So you pin this packet on the corners, split the packet, do a half of a tornado, put it on top of your hand, and here you switch to only your ring finger. The Ace of Hearts is being held by only my thumb and my ring finger. What I used to do is put my middle finger up here as well, which would really constrict my freedom of movement. So you let go of the middle and you can suddenly raise this packet way up here and have a lot more freedom to move around and be more accurate. So see, my hand opens up a lot more than this. And then yeah, you do what Dan&Dave later called Ferris. You do the Ferris flourish with a packet. So this is Ferris with one card. You're gonna do Ferris with a packet. So Ferris with that packet. So once again, this is Akira. There we go. That one was better. So, what trick should I do next? I would say Tectonic Verb, I guess. So to learn this move, you gotta be very familiar with the Erdnase Cut, which is a move by Bill Kalush where you do, can you see that? You make the cards do flips around each other with 3 packets, but what Dave Buck decided to do, you do it with 2 packets first, then 3, and then you do this cool display and then return, which is actually false. If I remember correctly, it's a false cut. So here we go. This is the 2 of diamonds, 5 of spades, and then two of diamonds, 5 of spades. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep performing it and show you the 2 ways you can display. You can display like that. Sometimes I like to exaggerate the display like this. So that is a lot more hand movement. Not only do you flip it like that, but you kinda like do that. I can give you guys one tip because a lot of people have trouble with this move. When you're here, use your middle finger instead of your first. Some people try to use their first on that part, and that is very awkward to do. If you use your middle, you get room between the 2 packets so that they don't crash into each other. So flip the bottom to the top and then use your middle to split the cards again. And then you can actually even pinch the packet like this. So yeah, that's that move. That's the Tectonic Verb. The next move I'm going to demonstrate is Echo. Echo, I have been practicing because when I'm in a store, I do this with my cards when I'm waiting in line. Like my debit card and ID and rewards cards and stuff like that. So there's 2 moves, 2 versions of this move. They end it early and do something like that. I know there's one version where they flip it, and in the long version of this move, which I'm about to show you, they don't flip it and they don't do the corner instant replay that I just showed you. So here's the full version. That was the short version. Here's the full version. That was an attempt at the full version. Echo is one of the few moves that I know that starts with the reverse Z grip. So as opposed to starting a Z like that, you start it like that. And that's kind of what the full version looks like. You just roll the packet onto the deck instead of flipping it like instant replay, like that. With instant replay, you could combine the 2. So you do the full version of the move and then you flip it onto the deck like that if you wanted to. This is literally only my 2nd drink and I'm like super tipsy right now. And that thing is pretty much full. I've only been sipping on it. Whiskey is way stronger than I remember it. So here we go. Let's think of another move. I'm still working on memory. I think I did everything except Jackson 5 and Pandora, which I have been saving for the end. Jackson 5 and Pandora. Oh, Molecule 4, let's do that. So there's actually 3 different versions of this move taught in the trilogy. There's false. It's just called Molecule 4 false. So Molecule false. We have the Jack of Spades on the top, 5 of clubs on the bottom. So here's to show you how false this move actually is. Jack of Spades, 5 of clubs. So now let's do Molecule 4 Tokyo. So this is the first one that they teach that actually borrows this move from Molecule 1, where you do that move and you would normally go like that, but instead of doing that last phase, that's when you do this really cool sequence of moves. Okay, this is molecule for Tokyo. One more time, and with that 180. So here's what New York looks like. It's very similar, but it ends with a much more complicated finale. You actually chain the Tokyo into the 4 false. And then in addition to that, you strip a card out and then strip another card out. And then you're gonna do a instant replay. So this is my first time. I haven't even done it yet. But when I land this New York move, that will be my first time doing it in 6 months. And before that, another 6 months. So this is like me practicing this move once in an entire year. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. I think the only moves that are left are Jackson 5 and Pandora. I practice it a lot more than other moves, so I'll probably not do that bad with this move. So that's my first time doing that in 6 months. So Dave flips it on to the deck, rolls it on, but I flip it into the middle of the 2 packets just to make it a bit bigger of a finale. This is the molecule 3 starting at this point. You twirl and then just roll it onto the deck. So let me try to do that again. I keep messing this up because this move is not easy to do, even though it is one of my most practiced moves. So I say most practiced very lightly because I haven't been practicing at all. I'm going to do Pandora the way the trilogy teaches it, which hardly anyone does, but they do teach you a very interesting, difficult move where you strip a card out of the tornado packet, then you collect it, then you do this. Well, you finish like normal basically. I'm gonna try to finish Dan's way. That's the best I'm gonna do on that. Let's move on to the Jackson 5. This is wider of a shot. I'm using my phone right now to record this, and I'm recording a lot more of my room. You can see my guitars in the background. I have 3 electric guitars now. Fuck, that was so fucking close. Fuck you, cards. Please, please work for me. Ah, son of a fucking bitch. I'm getting fucking pissed off. Yes! Yes! So that was my performance of the trilogy after being super rusty and intoxicated. So that concludes this special episode celebrating 10 years of the trilogy.